Chris and Jackson, how are we doing today, guys?
We're great. We're great. How are you?
I woke up and breathed this morning, so I guess it's a good day to be alive. So, brand new thing. These guys are from Rug Drop, first of all. I just want to get that out there before we go into anything else. So, what do you guys basically do?
We make rugs. We're in the business of bringing designs to life in a way that not many other people do. So basically, we run through our Instagram account. People DM us, ask us, if we could put a certain design on a rug. We'll go through the process of either just straight up accepting or denying that request, or tweaking it a little bit depending on what we're capable of doing, and then we put it all together and get them their rug. So
It's a really interesting thing because I saw this thing originate on TikTok. I think that was the first thing that I saw these custom rugs on. I'm like, wow, like is this really a thing? Is that when you guys kind of like started it all from like a TikTok?
yeah.
Yep, exactly. So I think Jackson actually saw the TikTok like before he showed it to me. But one night we were just hanging out at our friend's house because we didn't have much to do over quarantine. It was just like the five of us, and he showed me the TikTok, and he was like, it was pretty much step by step of the whole process, and so we got to see from front to end like what it looked like, and we thought that we could do it immediately.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but the video itself was more so just straight up, this is how I make a rug, right? He was just an artist. He's like, I make rugs. And I saw it was like, we could do so much more with this. You have the ability to make such a unique product in any way, shape, or form, like any design you want. I was like, we could definitely do this. Like, we could definitely master this and sell them. I don't know why anyone hasn't yet. And so he housed right on it.
So someone's a business guy in here. Which one of you guys is the business major? Just the way you guys are talking, you guys are sounding like you guys know what you're talking about.
This guy.
That's me. So that's that. Just being that business mind. I watched that video, and the first thing I thought about was making it a business. I was like, this isn't a business, and it needs to be. And that's kind of where it came to be.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's how that's how everyone starts out, right? You see this thing, it's like, why can't I do that too? Like how hard can it be? Is it really rocket science? And I'm sure what you guys do takes a long time to kind of figure out. Like how many times did it take you before you guys made like your first, I would say real rug?
I wouldn't even the very, very first one we did, we punched holes in it, like literally holes through the rug. And it's hanging up in my room right now because we can't get rid of it because it's the OG piece. But I think even after that, there were like two rugs that we like when we made them at first, we thought they were pretty good. But looking back now, we're like, there's no way we could sell that now because the quality just wasn't there.
I think probably from the time we first got the rug done in the mail to when we started making rugs that we could sell, it was probably around like 3 rugs we had made. But the first time we made a rug, and we were like, not only like is this a rug, but it's just so much better than any other work we've done. And we started to feel comfortable with the work completely from front to end. We made the Kobe rug. It was the 8. And I think that probably was maybe 2.5 months at the latest after we started. Yeah. So it definitely took a little bit to, learn it and then get comfortable with it. And then, we still haven't even come close to mastering it. We get better with every rug, as we keep saying. But to get fully comfortable with it, it probably took around like 2.5 months.
That's like with anything else. Whether you're playing a sport, whether you're making rugs, whether you're doing a podcast, the more times that you do it, the more successful you're going to be and the better you're going to be at it, which is, it goes for everything in life in general. The more you do something, the better you're going to get at it, whatever it may be. But something else I wanted to ask you about is what's the process like beginning to end? I'm taking supply chain management right now. So I've been really interested in the process of how things get to be what they are. So what does it really start out for you guys?
Yeah, so the very beginning, the whole process starts, somebody will reach out to us and say, all right, I want this design on a rug. And we'll give them a price, get it taken care of, and then get to work. And so we have this fabric that we buy in quantities of like 10, 20 yards at a time. And
it's called monk's cloth.
Monk's cloth, yeah. And that's what we use to sew the yarn through. That's the backbone of the whole rug. And so we'll stretch that out on this a frame that we've built, which is just a big square, or we have a square and a rectangle depending on the design and what we need.
Yeah.
And then we'll stretch it on there because there's like carpet tack lining on the outside of the frame. So as we're stretching the canvas over it, it's being caught by the nails, and we pull it really tight, and then we'll put it up on this stand. So we then take our projector and project the design on there inverted. So it's got to be backwards because the way we sew it is through the back. Out the front. So we project it on there, and then we'll take Sharpies and just sketch the design. So, it's perfect and it comes out as clean as it can be. Afterward, we'll put the stand back in our studio and make sure we have the right color yarn and just thread it through the gun, and we just stitch the whole thing. Everything, every color, every spot, we fill it all in. And then that's probably the most time consuming labor part. Definitely is. Can take around 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on, how intricate or big the rug is. And then we apply this glue. It's literally called custom rug compound. So it is to hold rugs in place.
Perfect for the rugs.
Exactly. Yeah. And we have a big bucket of that, and we'll just spread that on the back and then put a fan on it, let it dry for a few hours. Obviously, we don't have to do anything there other than just wait. And then when that's done, we take it off the stand and the frame, and we cut it out so that way it's nice flush, and we fluff it up. And we actually just bought these shears. Now we are doing it with scissors and like little fiskars, but now we have these shears that are literally used to shear sheep.
Yeah, so it goes right over top of the rug and just will
that's really interesting.
So it's a nice even shave. We'll make sure the edges, are nice and crisp, and the top is all shaved up, and then we'll use a lint roller or tape or something to, get the extra like lint off, make sure the colors pop, and then, we pop it on the floor, take some pictures of it, either post it on the gram or send them over to whoever ordered it, and then either hand deliver or we mail out rugs as well.
Wow. It's interesting to see, because that's like a process that no one would really like think of as something hard to do. Like, it's a rug, like it's in every house. Like, you get it when you first come into your dorm or whatever it may be. You go to Walmart, get a nice rug, and you throw it in your dorm room, your apartment, and you're like, I'm done with it. But it's interesting to see that there's this custom design aspect now into making something that you just typically have in everyday life. And it's interesting to me, at least, to see how much time it actually takes, rather than, these are, the rug on my floor, the rug that everyone else usually buys. It's all made in a big factory, right? It's nothing. They have machines that do it in 20 minutes and, boom, rug. But like, this process is, designer. It takes a little bit extra. It's like making an expensive purse, an expensive wallet. In this case, it's rugs. So how many have you sold so far?
I want to say 40,
Wow.
give or take, like more.
No, it's like 60, I think.
No way.
Oh my God.
I think we did 20 over winter break alone.
Yeah.
Chris is over here like, oh my God, let's go.
It might be like around 50. It might be right around 50 because we did just around 20 over winter break alone. That was a really, really big stretch for us. We got a bunch of holiday orders in, and we were making 2 rugs a day. Right now, like, we'll make a rug every other day, or like spread one rug across 2 days. We're not in too big of a rush. Our orders, are just kind of steady, and we're in a nice little zone. But over winter break, we took on like the max amount of orders, and we were making 2 rugs a day on top of school, on top of just being home and like seeing people that we hadn't seen in a while. And it was just, there was a lot going on, but we got it all done. But
I got the official number for you.
Let me
54.
54.
Wow. Yeah, no, how were you guys able to balance? Because that's a big question I like to ask everyone that like either runs a business, is a student athlete, if they're a professor. Like, how were you guys able to balance everything between school, seeing your friends, and then, making the rugs, running your business?
Yeah. So with COVID, we kind of took advantage of that, in that we had online classes. So we didn't have to be as disciplined with like getting out the door and walking around campus, going to class. And that obviously would take time away. So that was kind of big for us. we were able to kind of just work and then do classes as needed in the house, like so that we could keep going back to the studio whenever we needed to, which was really nice. But other than that, like we said, the stitching takes about 2.5 to 3 hours, and if we space it out throughout the day, it's pretty manageable, and we can get it done. And then as far as the gluing goes, there's nothing really we need to do. We kind of just wait for that. And then the whole the cutting process, trimming it up, I would say takes like 45, maybe an hour tops.
And that's if we're taking our time. If we really need to get it up on the Instagram or something, like, for a giveaway rug, for example, we're giving away a rug at 7 p.m. and we have to have that post up at 7, and maybe Chris comes over at like 6. We could get it done in time. It's just cutting it out, shaving it. We're not having conversation, just relax and like watching TV on the side. We can get it done pretty diligently.
So what really makes, a lot of different people can do this. What makes you guys better than the rest of the competition? Just the custom, can everyone do what you guys do if they bought, the canvas, the rug gun? Is there anything really separating or distinguishing you from like the other people that do it?
Anybody can do it, but nobody can do it like we do, because of
Love
the fact
the answer.
we,
Yeah.
now, yeah, I mean, it's right though. We've put the time in now. Like I said, it takes time to learn it. It's a very difficult thing to do. There were times where we've now had 3 different tufting guns. 3, I think, maybe even 4. I think it's 3.
Yeah.
And they're all worth like over $200. And these are costly mistakes that you just have to make. And we've been able to just get over those hurdles time and time again, to the point where we're cruising at this point. We're fine. We're past that, but it takes a lot of time. Oh, we're so confident now. And like I said, it's not hard. You sketch things with a Sharpie, and then you basically just fill in the blanks with this gun. But it's very easy to make mistakes, and the mistakes are, they can be detrimental, because if you punch a hole through a rug that isn't fixable, then regardless of how far you are on that rug, you need to start over, because you can't sell a rug with a hole in it. And that's a yard of fabric out the window, all the yarn you've used out the window, the time that you spend, which is arguably your biggest expense, labor, just the time. It's that's wasted.
I think another thing is just the creativity that we have kind of sets us apart. I mean, the shift to do giveaways, I think that Kanye rug, doing that giveaway first, was something that few people would have thought of. Maybe we have another thing that we want to do for March Madness, like a March Madness type of bracket. So I think just our creativity, who we want to work with, and how we go about that also sets us apart.
Yeah, no, and again, I'm not asking that question, be mean or anything like that. I want to see you guys stand up to yourself. Like, what makes you guys apart? Like, you're not going to take the hit and, go down, take the hit and stay up. That's why I like. And like, that's how it should be. If you believe in yourself and believe in your product, it shouldn't matter what anyone else has to say, because, internally that I'm doing this. We're the best at it. I don't care who else is doing it. We're doing it better, which is like, that's awesome. And you guys said you've been doing this for what, around 3 months, 4 months?
When did we start?
I think we started
September?
as soon as we got to school. Soon as we got to school. It was literally like September, October, November.
I think we got the
December.
gun like the first week of September. Our first gun the first week of September, I believe.
I think we're at like 6 months now.
Yeah, no, you guys have been taking the time, working on the craft. Again, it doesn't happen overnight. Everyone out there usually thinks, you make a business, boom, it's like snap your fingers, I'm a millionaire. No, that's not how it works. I mean, you guys got to work on your craft. But what I thought was really interesting is what Chris was saying about creativity, because this is a different way of being creative, right? It's not like I'm drawing a picture, I'm making something in Photoshop. It's really different. Is that where, Chris, you kind of come in, the creativity aspect of it, or you guys kind of both collaborate, 2 brains better than one?
We definitely both collaborate for sure. 2 brains is better than one. One of the things that I think we talk about the most when we receive a design from somebody is whether or not we can do it. And we always are trying to push our limits as far as like what type of design we can do, and trying to make like the most detailed design that we possibly can. So over time, we've gotten better with that. And we've learned our limits a bit. So that's helped us a lot. And I think just open dialogue with our clients, being able to let them know like what we can and cannot do also helps us a lot.
Yeah, so there's really no limit eventually. I mean, obviously the more complex rugs, you just have to keep doing what you're doing and eventually you'll be able to, reach that target market. But where do you guys like see this going? Like what was the point of making this? Just something to do? Like are you guys in any other clubs and just decide like, hey, I mean, why not start this company? Like it might be fun.
We had been talking about, oh, we want to make money when we get back to school, whether it's like get a job and just work in like a restaurant or something, or start something on our own. And when we first started this, I'm not gonna lie, like just like I said earlier, like the business mind that I have, I was like, all right, this is like a business, and I'm in it to make money, and I'm in it to like just take it as far as we can. But now, after having all this experience with making the rugs and just being around all of it all the time, I see it more as an art than anything else. And that's why we said it early on in the beginning. We're going to continue to say it now. We don't know where we plan on taking this because of the fact that, as much as it's a business, it's an art. So we have a lot of opportunities both on like the art side of things and like just, being featured places and, working with different people. And we also have a lot of opportunity on the business side of things where, we just had we're about to have our first collab today with Freezer Tarps. We've have a few other different like accounts and businesses or different people, personalities that we want to collab with in the future. We have goals that we've set for ourselves as a business, but because of the fact that we don't know where this is going to go, whether it's business or art or both, different kinds of things that we can include, whether it's a website, we can host events, drop merchandise. We don't really know. The sky's the limit. And so every time everybody asks like, where do you see it going? I think the best answer is as far as we can get it until graduation, just because like, I don't want to say about giving up on it, but I mean, once graduation hits, I really don't see myself being like a full-time rug maker. I'm sure Chris will answer that the same way.
Being realistic about it.
Just shooting for the moon and beyond up until, next spring.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I like we don't really have an end goal because we have no idea what you guys are juniors, right?
Yes, juniors.
Yeah. So, I mean, when next year comes around, who knows what's going to happen? No one can predict what's going to happen a year from now. But I like what you said. Like, we have these goals and we're going to try and hit these goals. Whether or not it happens, at least we gave it a shot at the end of the day. We didn't let anyone, bring us down. We didn't let anyone say, this is stupid or whatever, which I think is awesome. No matter what, at least you guys are trying to do something. And I'm sure through this process that you guys are learning a lot about not only like not just rug making, but running a business at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only guarantee with where we're going, we don't know what exactly we're headed towards, but we're going up. That's all that matters. And we've been going up and we're going to keep going up. And I think it's only going to be exponential from here on out.
Yeah, no, that and that's the thing that where you guys are both obviously two pretty determined individuals, which helps a lot because, and also working in a team, right? It's not just one person making the rugs and it's not one guy running the business. You guys, if someone's getting, say Chris is having a bad day or Jackson's having a bad day, someone else is going to be there to pick you up at the end of the day. Like, oh man, I really don't feel like making these rugs today. I really don't feel like, editing a picture, post on Instagram. But you have someone else to get you through it, which is awesome. And that's really essential in business.
Very nice to have that accountability for each other.
Yeah. And it's a really interesting dynamic because did you guys like grow up together and, this is, you guys met at college? How did you guys exactly meet?
So we did grow up together. I want to say we weren't good friends until like junior, maybe senior year of high school. But we've like played basketball throughout our whole lives together, stuff like that. And then when we got up to Penn State, became even closer.
Yeah, I'd say we were always like in the same friend group. We were always like hanging out, but we weren't like really, really close until, end of high school. And then we get to college and only a handful of kids from our high school come to college with us. So, we stick together early on. And then now, through this, obviously we've gotten a lot closer too.
You know, and that's awesome. And the reason I asked that question is that you have to trust you have to trust that other guy. And obviously you guys have been building that trust through these past, 4 years of, being friends or whatever it may be. And, you guys are loyal to one another, which is awesome because, I'm sure that you've had other people come up to you and oh, like, can I join in? And you're like, I mean, come on, like we've been doing this. Like, I think we're fine. Like, it's nothing against you, but, I have this guy sitting right next to me that has been with me since, the first really, really crappy rug. And now, look where we are now. We're making, cooler designs. I saw the J. Cole logo. What do you guys think that your favorite design that you made would be?
Jeter.
I think both of us really like the Jeter too with the pinstripes.
Oh, you guys are Yankees fans?
No,
No.
Oh,
not
thank
at all.
God.
The pinstripes were just so clean, and when we sewed those in, we were like, wow, that looks so awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. Making the rug, the best rug I think that we like enjoyed making was the Kobe 8, because like I said earlier, it was the first one where we just really hit a stride, and it was coming through the canvas on the other side. Chris is stitching it, and I'm sitting. This is before we had our studio. We were building them in my room. We were making them in my room. So I'm sitting
We were
on, like,
feeding the yarn by hand.
Yeah, we were feeding the yard by hand. Like, we were just building literally from the ground up. And I'm sitting on the other side of the canvas with Chris is punching it through, and I'm just like, oh my God. He's like, dude, what? And I'm like, this looks incredible. And he's like, I'm not looking yet. I'm not looking. I'm finishing it. And we put it all together. He put it all together, and we were just like, wow, like it was such a smooth stitch. Everything looks great. And that one I won't forget making.
Yeah.
But the Jeter one, looking back, I think that's just so cool.
I would say the Kanye one, the Kanye bear was up there as well, just because the colors in that. It's just such a cool design. I really like that one too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the Kanye rug too, and the J. Cole one. I might have to cop myself a rug drop rug. Maybe we can get keep on keeping on, put on a rug. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. But I think it's really cool that you guys have this, endless ability to be creative. You're never gonna run out of designs really, unless you can't think of something. And that's what's cool about an art. It doesn't ever end. You can always make something a little bit better or come up with a new design. So what do you guys basically do? Get something from the internet, put it on a projector, outline everything, and then you do the stitches, right? Have you guys thought about making like your own like rug drop rug?
We have, but personally, like I don't really like want a rug drop rug. I made a rug for myself. We came back for after winter break, and Chris was in Florida for a week, so I was here by myself with all the stuff, and I made myself a rug. It's the Phillies P, except it's navy blue instead of red, and then I filled it, with just a bunch of like intricate little paisley designs, and that one I really enjoyed making because it was completely, thought up in my brain. I put together, this is the shape I want, this is the design I want, and then I pieced together where all the different designs were going to go on the P. I thought that was really cool. Chris made a few smaller pieces for himself. Next year, we're actually going to be living in the same room. And so we were saying, like, at the end of the summer, if we have time, maybe we'll build a massive frame and make a huge rug to like put in our room. That'll end up probably costing us a few $100s, but
I think that would be so cool if we could just make custom. A huge one with a bunch of different designs on it, so that it's just one big rug.
Yeah, it'd be super cool. Tough. But in terms of the rug drop itself, especially now, I think we definitely plan on getting a little logo upgrade. For those who haven't heard that already, I think we are going to plan on doing that in the near future. So maybe after that, if we decide we want to do that. But I think rugs for ourselves, we're probably just going to try and keep it as, just something that, we think is cool, not necessarily rug drop. Because, we see enough of that anyway, on Instagram. And sure.
Yeah, you hear yourself talk way too much, or you see the same picture that you just took 15 minutes ago, and you're like, oh my God. And then you have to like it on your personal account. Like, I got to make sure I'm supporting my own brand, whatever it may be. But, what else I was gonna ask is, do you guys have like any, like, would you ever consider yourselves like artists or like creatives 2 years ago, 3 years ago, before you started this whole thing?
Honestly, no. I actually started, so when quarantine happened, like the week before everything got shut down, I broke my wrist playing basketball, and I didn't have anything to do because quarantine hit. So I started like just drawing and sketching stuff, and that's when I like kind of started becoming more creative in that aspect. But if 2 to 3 years ago, nah, I wouldn't have thought.
I think if you would have come to me March 2020 and been like, "Are you an artist? Like, you like art?" Probably would have been like, "Absolutely not. I'm not really like I don't really understand it. Like not even not understand it. Like I like different like I like pictures. Like cool pictures, like photography. And maybe if there's like maybe like a piece of modern art that like I can kind of resonate with. Like yeah, sure, I'll appreciate it.
Yeah,
I respect it. But I like I said,
100%.
I came into this, I saw that video and I was like, this is a business. I want to monetize this. And now it's like we're talking to different people to try and have like our work like featured in different places, and people are reaching out to us asking, to do some of the same. And I've realized it's so much more of an art than I realized. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we're making. It's art. And to say that like we're artists now, like in our own way is pretty cool to say, considering, like I said, like just a few months ago, definitely not. But yeah, Chris definitely has more of the artistic background, just from sketching and just from that area. But I think we both are probably in the same shoes when we say we didn't really expect this.
Yeah, what I thought was really interesting is that you said, if I went back March 2020 and you said, I'm going to start making rugs, or, I would be considered an artist, you'd call me crazy. And I think that's what happens to a lot of people, whether it be business, transferring schools, whatever happens, like just things in life change. You think of a great idea, like let's monetize, making rugs. Like this seems cool. And then you start doing it and you're like, wow, this is actually like kind of fun. And what I think is cool as well is like, though it's a business and everything, and you guys are college students, it gets you away from, the classroom and anything or and everything. I don't know if you guys do other clubs or something, but it's a nice break from, the routine day that you go through as a college individual every single day and you get tired of. But this kind of breaks it up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. I would speak to that. Even this morning, I had like a 5-page essay that I had to write today, and I by like 11 o'clock, I had been working on it for like an hour 15. I was kind of burnt out, and so I called Jackson and I was like, "Yo, I think I'm gonna come over and and do some of the rug right now, just because it's kind of like an escape where you can just get your mind away from school in general and kind of get into that flow state of just being there with the rug. It kind of just resets your brain a little bit."
Yeah, that's what's cool about is that you guys are obviously having like fun with this too. Like it's nothing extremely serious. Like you guys said, I don't know if I want to make rugs the rest of my life, but it's something to do in the meantime. Like, you're a college kid. What else are you gonna do on a, Tuesday night at 9 p.m.? There's nothing going on. It's COVID. Like life
Right.
sucks straight up. You can't go out, you can't hang out with a lot of your friends, but you got this like little outlet of something to do and keep you occupied instead of sitting on your phone for 3 hours going through TikTok, like I'm sure you guys were doing before the rug thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what's interesting about like people starting a business. Something comes in and you realize like, wow, this is actually enjoyable. I'm sure the first couple of rugs that you guys, like you said, first couple of rugs that we made were really bad and we didn't know how it was going to turn out, but I'm sure that you had fun at least trying to figure it out, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was fun when we felt like we were going in the right direction, but there were also times where we had no idea what to do, and there was one night when we
The first
the
night,
first
night
we get the gun, we've built all the materials, we've brought it up to school with us, we have everything we need, we are fully invested, and we take the gun out and we go to stitch the rug and it just looks like crap, and we kind of hit a groove, we kind of just start to get something going, and we're like kind of hyped, but like looking back, like we still have that rug, that space where we like thought we were cruising, like it looks like crap. And
Well, that night
the gun broke.
Yeah, the gun was
It was broken.
So there's two different ways that the gun can cut the yarn. It's called loop and cut pile, and so we need to do cut pile for these rugs because it just makes it work so much better. And so when we first got this rug, the setting it was on was loop, and the only way to change it is to literally pretty much take the gun apart, like unscrew it and everything like that. And so we tried to do it, but it didn't work. We kind of broke it a little bit. And so that first night we were like, all right, we can't do this anymore. We've been trying to take this apart and put it back together for the past 2 hours. Like, we got to stop. Let's just put it off till tomorrow. And dude, let me tell you, that night walking home was terrifying. I was scared. I was very scared because we had put all this time in already and all this money in, and to have it not work on the very first day was very disappointing. But ultimately, that hurdle, like, we learned from it and use it to our advantage.
Yeah, it's frustrating to go through something like that, especially like, you're all excited. You're like, I'm gonna make my first rug, like this is gonna be sick. And then all of a sudden it falls apart. And it's like that heart sinking feeling like, oh my God, we can't figure this out. And eventually you guys did, which I think is something that's very important. That's just a life lesson in general, that if you can't do it right now, figure out how to do it. It's probably we live in an internet era, and you can look anything up on YouTube. Like you were saying, we learned how to do this through TikTok and, probably watching a bunch of YouTube videos. Like, how do I make a big canvas? Like, how do I make a rug? What materials do I need to do this? And then you figure it out because, you took the time, did the research, and then got something in the end. And now you were making cool rugs. But that's just the process, like anything else. You guys said you're Philly guys, right? You got to trust the process, right? And that goes for anything in life. Like, let's go Joel Embiid. We just beat the Jazz like 2 nights ago, so that's hype. But anyway, I just think that it's awesome that you guys did the thing that took the road less traveled. You could have given up right then and there. We lost however much it cost, $500, and now I'm down $500. Can't make rugs. But instead, you flipped it around, you figured it out, and now look where you are. If that never happened that day, who knows? You might not have made rugs.
Yeah, you're right. Definitely.
Yeah, which I think is really cool. So before we, go on with the rest of the day, something that I like to ask all my guests on the podcast is, what is one piece of wisdom that you guys want to pass on to the other people out there?
Yeah, I think because we went into this without any real experience, and we don't have any friend that's super big into art, especially the art that we kind of do, we kind of went in blind, and we kind of just learned a lot ourselves. And we pondered over this question the past few days, like, what's one piece of wisdom? What's something we really truly we're taught or told? And I think it was something that we kind of just learned ourselves, and that was just to always be ready to adapt, always be able to adapt. Whether it's running a business like we are, or just planning out your afternoon of activities, or going to classes on time, just trying to figure out your school schedule. You have to be ready to adapt, because everything in life will change. Nothing ever goes to plan. And if you're always ready to adapt, you're going to be better off than 9 out of 10 other people in the room with you. And like we said early on, we had a whole lot of hurdles to jump, and we weren't really expecting those hurdles to come, especially that early. And then we had to, wait an extra week, because, instead of ordering the new gun, as soon as we, kind of found out there was an issue, we tried to, just put it off. Say, maybe it'll work tomorrow. And then, the second time the gun broke, or, it just stopped, was worn down to the point where it didn't work anymore, we were ready for that. And we ordered something right away, and that came, and we were only set back by like a few days. And we were able to, contact the customers that we were currently working with and planning to work with about, there was a little bit of delay, and there was little to no issues. So I think it's definitely always be ready to adapt in any way, shape, or form.
Guys, I love it. Get ready for the changes coming, because there's always going to be a change coming, no matter what you do, where you are, who you're with. Something's going to come. Got to be able to adapt to the environment that you're given. Guys, that's it for another episode of the Ronan Bell Show. Jackson, Chris, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Let's plug it. Where can I find my Rug Drop rugs?
Rug Drop on Instagram, just at Rug Drop. Straight and simple.
I love it, guys. You guys are awesome. I wish you nothing but success in this whole thing. Wherever you may go, at least you got something. You said that you set out a goal. You guys accomplished it. You're making rugs. You're doing something not a lot of other people do. It's absolutely awesome, guys. And to all the listeners out there, thank you for tuning in today. Hope you're getting through whatever you're getting through.
Thank you for having us.
Guys, it was a pleasure having you guys on, to be honest. Guys, have a good rest of your day. Hope you're getting through whatever you're getting through. And as always, y'all just keep on keeping on.